Hey, Coach Smart, I'm going to do your video eval now. Okay, we're going to start off with a ball hit right to you and talk about a couple things. I haven't found a lot wrong, Trey, to be honest with you, but a couple things you should be aware of as you get a little bit older here, get in high school, things you want to think about as you go forward. Let's go ahead and run this a little bit here. This is a ball hit right at you. Okay, now from almost every position you're going to play, bud, you know, this right here is pretty good. Only thing I would say a little bit is I'd like to see, you see how your glove is right now? It's facing, the backside of your glove is facing the baseball. By now that glove should already be presented to the baseball. Okay, but you do a great job here getting the ball off your left eye. You work from the ground up, which is all good stuff. Ball comes up, you know it's coming up, you get your glove in the ground, so that's really good. Now the glove is presented very good right there. I like to see it just happen a little bit earlier on balls hit right at you. Okay, now what I want to show you is where you're standing right there. Okay, you're right behind that baseline of the tennis court there. Now when you throw, you don't gain much ground. You kind of go sideways. Your foot barely gets over that line. Okay, I'd like to see you gain a little more ground. We talk about doing that Eckstein drill where you go right over left to gain direction and distance on your target. And you do a good job here from the throwing standpoint. You do a good job here building up your front side. But, you know, for a throw this long, Trey, you know, you've got a great 3/4 arm slot. And that's going to serve you really well on balls hit to your left at second base, which is going to probably be your primary position, maybe some shortstop. And that's good, but you have to have the other arm angles also. You can see right here the kind of stress you're putting on your body as that elbow drops down way below. And you kind of sling it over there. Yeah, that's a throw for on a ball to your left. You have to go, you know, at second base or at shortstop. But at third base, where you're playing there, and you're making this long of a throw in a high school game, that's going to be 120 feet probably from where you're playing. If you're playing in the hole at third base, and you've got to get more on top of that throw. And you combine that with the fact that you're not getting, you know, you're not gaining any distance on your footwork. And you're going to put a lot of stress on that elbow, young man. And your feet kind of stay there. There's no following the throw after you throw it. So just from a health standard of that right elbow, you know, you need to be able to throw on top of a ball too. I know you do that to compensate a little bit for your arm strength, but you're going to end up hurting that arm. So you're very accurate with it. That's not a problem there, but just from a standpoint of health, you want to get on top of that throw more. The longer the throw, the higher your elbow has to go. And your elbow stays about the same level on all your throws as you're going to see. Okay, this is a ball hit to your left. Again, pretty good job here. Okay, do a good job here. Again, maybe present the glove a little late for me, but not too bad here. It's better than the one hit at you. It's starting to open up here. Get nice low position to catch a baseball. You did a great job here. You know, and this is where that 3/4 arm slot that you have for all your throws comes into play. You do a good job here. Making this throw. One thing I would say is that, you know, just remember when you catch the ball this low, you know, don't stand up to throw it. Throw it right from there. Don't wait till you stand and get big tall again, because you have a tendency to want to, you know, throw a little bit downhill. Then we want to make sure we're still throwing uphill to that second baseman. There's that same arm slot. Okay, and that's not bad from there because you're going to go you're going to your left, so it's not an issue there. Okay, this is a backhand ball. Again, this is a really, as you're going towards that baseball now, the only thing I'd like to see here is your glove open. And on the next one, you do that. You do a good job of it. On this one, you have your glove closed. Oh, I'm sorry. No, your glove is open. I just couldn't see it. Oh, you're okay there. Okay, now we're going to watch here. You drop this ball. Okay, catching the ball in a kind of a clamp, or excuse me, a rake stance. But you can see that elbow. Got a nice bend to it right there. That's pretty good. You let the ball travel, which is good. You get it past your front foot. That's great. Okay. But look where your head's at here. And Coach Boyer talks about all the time about, watching your transfer. Actually taking the ball of your glove. And you look straight to where you're going to throw the baseball. You reach in there. You don't find it. You don't get a clean grip on it. And the ball comes out. So, take it when you're doing that transfer, watch that transfer. Like we've been telling you for the last, 3 weeks for camp. Watch your transfers, backhand, double play transfers. Watch them. Watch that ball go in your glove. Look in your glove. Find the baseball with your eyes. Grab it, then throw it. Instead of, you make way too many errors on your exchanges. That's just because you don't watch the ball being exchanged with your eyes. You've gotten so good with your hands, Trey, from going to camp all these years, that you got a little bit lazy from the standpoint of doing the little things that are going to make a big difference for you as you go into high school ball. But from a technique standpoint, there's not a lot to complain about from my standpoint. You're going to see on this one here, this backhand, this is textbook. The glove is open, presented, beautiful look here. Okay. You might get this one a little bit too far out in front, where the last one you caught, you let travel because your arm gets stiff here, gets locked out. But you make a nice catch there. Nice little clamp step. Again, my arm almost hurts when I watch your video. Okay, now you got this. You got a backhand in the hole, let's say at second base, or a backhand in the hole as your shortstop. The farther the throw, the higher the elbow. And here goes that. Ouch, that hurts to watch. That side arm. That arm should be up here someplace right now. Right up in here. And that ball. When you're making long throws, you got to get that elbow up. Got to get that elbow up. Okay, but from a standpoint of the catch and stuff's pretty good. And the only thing, your last one's on the run here, and your technique is, you'll see here, is perfect. Okay, you're going to see the ball come into play here. You're going to catch the ball just like you were taught all these years at camp. Come in with both hands just inside your left foot. Make the catch. Left foot goes down. Right foot comes up. And the ball leaves your hand. That right foot hits the ground again. That ball's gone. That's a great play. Problem is that you probably slow down more than anybody else does. You gotta forget about worrying about making an error there, and that's got to be full speed. When you run that at regular time, you're going pretty. You almost come to a stop when you get to the ball, and you can't do that. The guy's going to be safe anyway. The good thing about making a bang-bang play like that is and if you're concerned about errors, very rarely are infielders charged on errors on bang-bang plays. Okay, so you're better off to give yourself a chance to get the guy out and going full speed and bobbling or missing it than slowing down and have the guy be safe. So, just kind of, like I said, take those bang-bang plays like that and go full speed. Don't slow down. You're a good enough athlete where you don't have to try to get your feet set up. You'll be able to get through it. Just run through the ball. Don't slow down. But other than your arm slot, that we talked about here. Everything else is pretty good. You've always had good hands. It's just a matter of making sure you're taking care of the little things that we talk about at camp. Being versatile as far as you're doing your one hand stuff. I know you've been taught two hand for a long time, and it's going to be hard to get out of you. But Trey, if you really pay attention to baseball and TV and you watch pros and college guys, very rarely do they come across the bag with two hands. Almost all the time now they're going out, reaching out like we've been telling you at camp. We wouldn't be teaching that if it wasn't the way it really is in baseball. So, like I said, there's way more positive than negatives in your stuff. And my biggest concern is about the way you throw, especially on balls, where you have a little distance to get a cover. I want to make sure you take care of that arm. Trey, thanks for coming to camp. I'll have this up on YouTube here in a couple days, and you have any questions, you know where to get a hold of me. Thanks, buddy.